Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Chris. I took about a 3-week break, but I am back ready to film lots of videos for the upcoming months. Today's video is about fragrances that I am literally obsessed with at the current moment. Perfumes that I just cannot stop reaching for over and over and over again. And I've got 8 of them. And with that, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to start with a perfume that's not new. I don't think any of these are new. 2 of them have been released in the past year, but most of them are kind of oldies but goodies. One that I just cannot stop wearing, and I'm a big sucker for woody vanillas, is Beau by Liis. This is a beautiful, it's a very woody perfume. It's a woody vanilla, and the vanilla in here is detectable, but it is not gourmand. And I used to be a huge gourmand lover. Gourmand fragrances, or fragrances that smell like literal food, were perfumes I could not stop putting down. Right now, I'm more into the perfumes that aren't literal gourmands, that have maybe gourmand elements, but are just not overly foodie. And Beau is a terrific woody vanilla, where the vanilla is detectable, but it is not overly foodie. And another reason I love this perfume is it has a lot of incense. I personally get a lot of frankincense, so it's that almost that cold incense that's not quite burned or charred, and it doesn't smell like a literal church, but you can definitely detect that beautiful kind of that piney cold incense. Lots of wood. I get a lot of dry wood, cedar. I think there's gaiac. I think there's 4 different types of wood. But a beautiful wood forward fragrance that is terrific for this time of the year, and it is currently cold, with a splash of vanilla that really comes out in the base. It gets sweeter in the base, and it has this lovely hit of incense that I absolutely love. Today, my fragrance of the day is one by Jo Malone, and this is Hinoki and Cedarwood. If you want to get into the spirit of the holidays, particularly holidays in December like Christmas, this is going to get you there. There's nothing more Christmassy to me than something that has a pine or a Christmas tree type of scent. I think there's only 2 notes listed in here, Hinoki and cedarwood. And when my husband smelled this on me, he said, "Ooh, what is that? It smells," he said, "it almost smells like a zippy spruce." So it has like this fresh greenness. There's definitely some sort of pine needles or evergreen needles in here, but it's so good. It's a little bit spicy, almost sweet, almost bordering on sweet spices, but not quite getting there. Like all Jo Malone perfumes, this is not a heavy hitter, even though it's an intense version of her fragrances. But let me tell you, on the really crisp, cold days we've been having here, and I'm dressed in a sweater and I just want to channel the holidays, this has been absolutely terrific. Relatively new to my collection, but not a brand new release. I think this was released in 2024, is AIUla by Penhaligon. This is a beautiful tobacco forward perfume. I would call this an easy tobacco. It's right down the middle. I would call it unisex. It has a light, spicy, soft incense. I would say it's more on the cold incense. Again, that frankincense that's not overly smoky. It has a lovely, very soft, again, non-gourmand vanilla in the dry down, and a lovely deep plum note. So a plum, tobacco, incense, vanilla, very dry, slightly spicy perfume. This is one of the drier perfumes in my collection, so it's really great for a cold day when there is a bite in the air. Even though this works terrifically in the cold weather, I think because it's so dry, this would be great in the warm weather. So one that is new to me and I cannot stop wearing. Funny thing is, I typically wear this side by side with the next perfume I'm going to show you. This is called Dreaming of Incense, or Dreaming in Incense by the Indie House for the scent of it. I like or love so many perfumes in their series, and this is more of an amber perfume. It's not overly incensey. I do get different types of incense in here, but what I really get, this to me is an amber perfume with some delicious ginger. There is like a syrupy dark orange, a dark ginger, and then you pair those notes with a sweet, slightly sticky amber, and in the base, kind of warming everything up, enveloping all those notes is different types of incense. I get kind of a sweet myrrh in the opening, and then I get something smoky in the base. So to me, it's got, you know, kind of that cold, sweet incense and that warm, smoky incense. So luckily, I am a fan of both types of that incensey vibe. And this is absolutely stunning. I don't think it would be for everybody. There's something a little bit nostalgic about this perfume. I wouldn't call it vintagey. I wouldn't call it old-fashioned. It's very, very classic. And one of my favorite pairings are these two perfumes right here. I'll wear one on one arm, one on the other arm. And to me, that's kind of how I layer things. And they are absolutely stunning. This one gives a beautiful, dry, woody, slightly spicy edge. And this adds a beautiful, ambery, gingery dash of dark orange syrup sweetness. And they are kind of a match made in heaven that I can't stop wearing. Okay, a perfume that I just cannot stop wearing. It is a top 10 for life for me. This is in so many ways, particularly in the colder weather. This is me in a bottle. I've worn it in the summertime and surprisingly it has worked, but this really shines in the cold weather. This is my beautiful Ivory Route by Xerjoff. It's spicy in the opening. It's incensey in the opening. It has a teensy touch of something mentholy. It could be patchouli, it could be herbs. I think there might be basil in here. It's a little bit camphorous, almost mentholy, just for a splash. And then as it dries down, it becomes this beautiful, sweet sandalwood with spices. And when I say spices, to me, I'm getting maybe like a little bit of dry pepper, but it's not overly peppery. And I know that I've said it a million times, vanilla is not listed in here, but that is what comes out in the base. And again, it's a non-gourmand vanilla that's detectable as being sweet, but it is beautifully paired with a dry wood, sandalwood, cedar kind of a thing, and lovely, delicate, but detectable spices. You will see this in my top 10 for life, I guarantee you. And this is one that I can basically smell all day long. Okay, I've told you guys time and time again that I'm a huge fan of many in the Escentric Molecule line. Some of my most reached for in the summer were these easy grab and go Escentric 01. Then I picked up Escentric 02. I have Molecule 04. I have many, many in the line. And one of my most reached for ever since I got it is Escentric 01. This is not Molecule 01, this is Escentric 01. So this is a Molecule 01 with a lot of personality. So this is ISOE Super, same thing in Escentric 01, but this has a lot of pizzazz. This is snappy, this is invigorating, this has pepper and something fresh and light, a little bit of a floral note, like a touch of a powdery iris. And again, if you like glossy AU, this is going to put you in the ballpark. This one is less musky, this is way less powdery, and this is a little bit more fresh, clean, and peppery. This is one of my absolute go-to gym scents. In other words, I'll spray this out the door on a jacket. I plan on taking that jacket off, or maybe if I just want to smell fresh and clean, I'll give 1 or 2 spritzes, and it sneakily almost smells like the better version of me, but just with a little bit more personality. Another one of my favorite Escentric Molecules that is perfect for this time of the year is Molecule 01 with Patchouli. So this is that ISOE Super with Patchouli and some other things, but it's just so perfect for this time of the year. The patchouli in here, I'm a huge fan of patchouli. I like almost all patchouli. I like chocolatey patchoulis. I like dark patchoulis, you know, that hippie head shop patchouli. I love that patchouli. This is, I would call this a green patchouli. In other words, it's not too dark, it's not too damp, it's not dank. It almost has a green freshness. It almost is like minty or mentholy, something along those lines. Just a splash of that green, minty, mentholy, patchouli, and a teensy bit of sweetness. I wouldn't be surprised if there was just a splash of something ambery in here in addition to that Molecule 01. So Isoe Super. I love this. It smells very, very similar to, I'm blanking on the Jo Malone perfume that I absolutely love. It is Oud and Bergamot. They smell very, very similar. Do I need both? No, but I love how they both smell. And this one, the patchouli comes out a little bit more, and this one is just fresh and green, and you know, it's invigorating for the colder weather. This one is not, it's not going to be in your face, but it is light enough to wear in most situations. Absolutely love it. This is one my mother, Picky Lori, smelled, and she became obsessed with it, and I got her a bottle, and we both wear it, and we both love it, and it is terrific for this time of the year. And the last one is not a new release. It is new to my collection, new-ish. I have not had it that long. I want to say maybe it was released in 2024, and this bottle is less than a month old. I have already put a dent in, less than a month in, and I am an undersprayer, so that tells you how much I've been wearing Cardamom Moss by EPC, Experimental Perfume Club. On paper, to me, the notes just didn't seem to go together, and I finally gave it a decent wearing, and oh my gosh, I cannot stop putting it down. Like I said, the notes, you've got caramel, you've got a lot of caramel, you have oak moss, which can be damp, it can be green, it can be inky. There is ginger. This has, I am completely blanking on the other spice that's in here. It's in, you know, like Indian food. It's earthy, it's orange. Oh, turmeric. This has turmeric in it. That note doesn't always work well for me. I've tried perfumes with turmeric in it. They haven't always knocked it out of the park. But this one just works. I think all the notes together really work well. And if you are a cardamom fan, this has one of the most cardamom forward notes of any perfume I own, particularly in the beginning. When you first spray it, that's basically all you're going to get is cardamom. But as this starts to dry down, the cardamom's still there, the ginger comes in, I almost get something a little bit mossy, inky, slightly earthy without being damp, and all these notes together just work. It has been a go-to work scent for me. It's not in your face, but it's detectable. It's light and airy and not too out of the box, but it smells unique to me, and that's why I love it. And literally less than a month old, been loving it, haven't been able to stop wearing it, and that is it. 8 perfumes that I have just been loving and reaching for over the past month, wearing a ton, and they have been perfect for the weather that we are having, which is this beautiful, crisp, cold fall weather. It's been absolutely spectacular. If you haven't done it already, let us all know down below some fragrances you just can't stop wearing and are obsessed with. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. And with that, I will see you on the next one.